Hey Bookends! Welcome to 10-minute book reviews. I'm 10. Today's review is going to be on the Nook Glowlight 3 by Barnes & Nobles. So basically we're going to go over all the features on it, and then we're going to see how it compares to its cousin, the Kindle Paperwhite. So let's just jump right on in. So looking at it, just going all the way around, we have our power port, which is a Android power port. So it's not the USB-C, it's the one that came right, oops, sorry, it's not the USB-C, it's the one that came right before it. This little dot, to my knowledge, it does absolutely nothing, but we're going to go into that. As we go along the side, there's nothing really along this bezel. The only other thing we have is the power toggle or power button on top. So let's open it on up. When you get your Nook, it comes in this packaging. And it comes live, just like the Kindle Paperwhite. So that means it's using just a tiny bit of power to work. Well, to give you a little message on the front, which is the message that it has right now. Your Nook is off. And this is what the charger that it comes with looks like. If it'll focus. There we go. There is no charging brick. It does not come with a charging brick. So either you have to charge it from a computer or a surge protector that has the connections for the USB, or you have to buy your own charging brick, which is about, I believe, $15 at Barnes & Noble. Or you could just be cheap like me and use a charging brick from something else that you have. So yes, let's turn it on. So we have to hold this button down, the power button, and that initiates the turn on sequence. The turn on sequence takes a long time. The longest I've clocked it out was 45 seconds. The shortest I've clocked out was 15 seconds. So the turn on time can vary. Now, I was thinking perhaps this might have something to do with how many books are loaded onto it. But no, honestly, I have not bought a lot of digital content from Barnes & Nobles. So it doesn't have a lot of digital content on it. I've also tried to turn off Wi-Fi to see if it's connecting to Wi-Fi, and that's why it takes so long to load. And that doesn't seem to have too much of an effect on it either. For some reason, it just sometimes is quick, sometimes it's not. But the quickest to expect will be 15 seconds, so it's not very quick at all. So once you have your Nook set up, the first thing that you will see is your library. So the books that you have downloaded. So the second thing that you will see are the recommendations based on what you have in your library. It's touchscreen to the degree that you can tap on a book and enter that particular book, but it's not intuitive in that you can do a lot of things. You can't go up and down. If you go side to side, it's a bit blocky. It is touchscreen, but it's not very intuitive. That's what I should say. It's not intuitive. So as you can see, when we move across, there is that lag. The lag continues on when we go into the store. What I'm going to actually try to do is purchase the same book in both the Nook and the Kindle at the same time, so you can kind of see what the buying experience looks like. Hopefully, I like Star Trek, so hopefully there's a Trekkie book that I can buy, but nevertheless, I'm going to purchase the same book on both so you can see how it works. So let's get into the book features. So when you go into your book by tapping on the book itself, if you tap on the top of your screen, you're going to see the different options that you have available. Now, when you first get the Nook, the screen is a bit dim. So we're going to tap on this icon. I don't think you can really see it, so let me just bring it closer, turn it around a little bit. That icon looks like a little light bulb when you tap on that, it allows you to be able to change the lighting. Make it lighter, make it, and see, once again, more interesting lag. It just took me into Wi-Fi for some reason or another. So let's go back. So for some reason it's sensitive in some things and not sensitive in others. But yes, and you're able to make it darker. So you're able to make it lighter and darker. You can see how it follows behind my finger. So it's not the quickest kid on the block, but it gets where it's going. And you can also turn on night mode, which makes the screen kind of orangey. So you can see it puts on kind of an orange tinge to it. Or you can choose to change it yourself. So right now it's cool because it's that grayish color, and we can kind of bring it all the way over to warms where it goes all the way into that orange color, if you can see that. I'm more of a cool person. The lowest brightness, let's see what the lowest brightness looks like. In fact, let me turn off this light and let the camera adjust. So this is the lowest brightness that it has. So it doesn't really work the same way the Paperwhite does, where even on the lowest brightness it kind of still has the feel of paper, of a book. On the lowest brightness it just looks very dull. On the brightest brightness, you can see it's incredibly luminous. So yeah, about right there is pretty good. So we can see right from there, it's not like the Paperwhite in that it always has the look of paper. This definitely has more of a feel of an old school Kindle, where you can very clearly see it. It's a screen, it's some sort of LED screen, and it's not trying to make itself out to be anything other than that. So let's move back. Wi-Fi, we don't need that. Okay, getting back into the book. Okay, so that's how we make it brighter. Next to that icon, we have the Wi-Fi, which is something that you're going to set up initially anyway when you first get it. And then we also have the battery power, which I got this on, when did I get this? Sue is not with me right now to tell me when I got it. I want to say it was a weekend. Yeah, I think it was I got it last Sunday, so I got it exactly a week ago. No, a little bit more than a week ago. But I only charged it once, and it still has full battery power. I think when I got it, it had like 40 or 60%. So battery power wise, it's very good. It's awesome. But then again, it's not really doing too much, so I don't want to give it too many accolades because it's not really doing too much anyway. But yeah, so depending on what kind of book you have, you can go to the chapters right from the top right here. And once again, as I said, it is sensitive. So you can go to the chapters right up here, and it'll bring you to whatever chapter you'd like to go to. Let's see if we can bring this a little closer again. There we go. Let me see if I can do something about this light. No. Let's dim it a little bit. Can we dim it? There we go. So you have your chapters. Then you have the ability to make the lettering bigger or smaller. You also have the highlight feature, which I just activated. So let's get out of that. Let's try out that font feature. So as you can see, you can make the font bigger. And you can see the font just got bigger on the screen. Or you can make it smaller. Or it looks like little ants running by. This really doesn't do much, in all honesty. I mean, with the margins, of course, most books already come formatted, pre-formatted. So whether you choose margin or... Okay, let's go into it anyway, just to have a look. but most books come pre-formatted. So this isn't really something that you'll have to engage in too heavily. You won't have to really do the formatting of it because it's really there. So yes, so that's what we get when we go into fonts. So let's get out of that. Now we also have, some people, if you had a BlackBerry before, you might call it berries, but we have an etc. tab, which is just 3 dots. When we click on the etc. tab, we have the option to, so bright, so bright. We have the option to share, add bookmark, jump to page, find in book, view details. So share, add bookmark, jump to page, find in book, view details. So these are the things that you normally find in most e-readers. It's not phenomenal. It's not groundbreaking, and for $119 for an e-reader, I would have thought that I would have gotten more, but that is that. Okay, so let's see what these little buttons on the side do. I'm just going to press down. It brings us down. Press up. Brings us up. See, they both do the exact same thing. If I press up here, that's what I get. If I press up here, I get the same thing. So these buttons on the side, they do exactly the same thing. They mirror and function. So I guess the purpose would be whether someone's left-handed or right-handed, but I don't even see how that would be a big factor in one reading. Yeah. Exiting out, if we have a look at the icons on the bottom, so we're already in the library per se, but that brings us to the actual book that we were reading while in the library. So technically your landing point is the library, but if you click that, it'll either bring you to the library or to the book that you're currently reading in the library. This is the market or the store, where it'll show recommendations for you based on the books that you've already purchased, or it will show books that they are currently pandering or advertising for. So according to them, it's this book, World of Wonder. Never read it, don't know anything about it, but there it is. So when you get in here, you can choose from whatever hot topics they have currently for books. So NYT, or New York Times bestseller, Black Voices, new releases, Nook recommendations. Everyone's talking about books books $2.99 and under, which is a great section to go to if you're looking for indie authors, because you want to support. Coming soon, trending, and for some reason romance. I don't know why they would have romance for me, because your girl ain't checking for romance. Maybe Sue might, but not me. So yes, those are the things that pop up when you go into the market. Let's press the Nook button to bring us back, and my hands are whaley, I guess. Sorry about that. When we go here, it shows us the things that we've bookmarked. To my knowledge, I haven't bookmarked anything but the first page of the book I was already reading. So I don't want to say that function is redundant. It's not. It's just that I haven't bookmarked anything, so it's not really going to show bookmarks because I haven't done any. It gets oily, like when you touch it, the oil from your fingers really comes off. Okay. And then finally, we have some more specific picks. So before, it was just the store, right? And there were topics in the store that you could choose on, select from. These are specific. Or at least it's supposed to be specific to me, but because I don't buy a lot digitally from Barnes & Noble, I haven't in the past really, this is as specific as it's going to get. Yeah, which these books don't even look interesting. Also too, this section has daily reads that you can read for free. So I might have a chapter of a book that it puts out every day. So if you want to follow that book and read it for free, you can. I don't advise it only because if you get into the book and the book ends up being more than you want it to be, I don't know if they finish out the entire book for free, which I think would be counterproductive. So, I mean, but you know, to each his own, to each his own. And that's really it. Of course, there's the search function, but that search function isn't revolutionary. It doesn't do anything different from any other search function. So, let's compare the Glowlight to the Paperwhite. So starting right off, these are both the smallest version. So there is a bigger Glowlight. There's also a bigger Paperwhite. I chose the smallest version of both because I need them to be portable for the work that I do. So as you can see, the Paperwhite ends up being smaller than the Glowlight, which is something I personally like, although it may not be something that you like, but just, you know, putting it out there. Size matters to some. I guess it matters to us all, and for me, smaller the better. And so I like the Kindle for that. And when we open it up, of course, we have the advertisement on the Kindle, which is something I'm not a particular fan of. It's not something I make a big deal out of, but it's not something that I'm a fan of. I'd rather not be pandered to every time I open up my e-reader. That is something that the Nook does not do. There's no pandering when you first open it up. It's just, hey, you bought me, and read a book. That's it. There's no pandering. Also, too, on the Kindle, I'm sorry, not the Kindle. On the Paperwhite, there is only one button on the side as well, which is the power button, and they both use the same charger. Unlike with the Paperwhite, though, the little hole right here, that is for reading out loud, text to speech, or for audible books. I don't like the text to speech feature on the Kindle, only because it makes you go through everything. Just straight up everything. So I don't particularly care for it. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to attempt to buy the exact same book from both devices. So let's try to do that. Okay, for the purpose of this video, we have chosen The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. They're both 99 cents on, well, I should say it is 99 cents on both the Kindle and the Nook platform. So price-wise, they're on par. So let's try to buy them at the same time. Ready, set, and go. I like the Kindle experience better because it's quicker, but I can understand with the Barnes & Noble one, with the Nook, it's waiting to confirm, is this really what you want to do? Although I will say that even though I don't like the buying process on either of them, it's easier on the Kindle. So, if you are stuck between which one you would like to buy someone, which one you'd like to buy for yourself, I'm leaning more towards the Paperwhite. Just because it's smaller, it's sleeker, it has the feel of paper when you're looking at it. When it's down to even its lowest setting, it's still readable. The Nook is honestly a glorified e-reader. That's over this. Well, they're both e-readers, but this one's over glorified. For $119, I would have expected a less clunky experience, a more luxe experience, and that was not what I received. So I paid less money for this, and I'm getting more out of it. Can you tell which one of the cases I picked? Yes. Well, thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe. Bye, Bookends.